watching Griffon Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Easley and Ryan Minley.
And hello again. Welcome to GSI Season 2, a weekly source for all things Missouri Western sports. Happy to have you with us again. Brett, last year, a year of change at Missouri Western.
It's good to be back. They brought us back, first of all. Brand new facilities last year. Now the momentum continues this year. But it's been a crazy, busy summer as the changes, they are still in the air.
We'll talk about new coaches, potential new athletic directors later on, but now we focus on Griffon football. They kick off the season Thursday night. The 2011 Griffs, coming off a playoff appearance in 2010, they are ranked 21st in the preseason Division II nation, and they'll have a bit of a new look when they take the field against Pitt State Thursday. New uniforms, but many of the same old players, and that's a good thing, Brett.
It is a good thing. Griffs return half their starters on defense from a unit that led the MIAA in pass defense and interceptions. D-line could be dangerous. The entire line is back, and Coach Jerry Partridge says it could be one of the best Westerns ever had. They are led by preseason All-American David Bass. He's only a junior. Actually, all the key cogs are juniors.
Well, I mean, it feels great to actually, the expectations. It feels great for people to actually have the respect for us to, think that we're going to do great things this year, and we're ready for it. This is what we've been building up, for since we've been here, and we're ready to get out there, September 1st against Pitt State and show the world what we can do.
Plenty of experience on offense, but there will be a new signal caller leading it. Travis Partridge takes the reins at quarterback. He takes over for Drew Newhart, who graduated as the second most prolific passer in MIAA conference history. Travis Partridge, a 6'4", 230-pound sophomore, is, of course, the head coach's son. And that just adds to the pressure, but he says, bring it on.
It's a weird deal. A little bit of the weirdness wore off that very first fall. I mean, that very first fall, I ran out here in practice gear, and it was really weird. But and now it's more about trying to be as good as I can be as a quarterback, and less about trying to please my dad. So
it's a tough spot. If I didn't think, I've worked too hard for 14 years, and I love my son. I love my program too much not to put him out there. But I didn't think he could do it. And athletically, he's got it.
The first thing is when he's 6'4", 230 pounds, he's got a strong arm, and he can run. So anybody that hears that, feels like, wow, you got a pretty good situation going on.
His last name was Travis, Smith. Everybody'd be kind of like, hey, that's a big, good guy that can do some things. But
I've been rooting for Missouri Western football since as long as I remember. Now I can do something about it instead of just cheer as loud as I can. So that's fun, and that's something I really look forward to.
Partridge will have plenty of talent around him.
And plenty of targets around him as well. 6 of the Griffons' top 7 receivers returned from 2010. Terrell Downing, the #1 target. The junior led the Griffs, caught 40 passes for 580 yards and 4 touchdowns last season. TJ Fannin, Adam Clausen, and tight end David Fowler also have big play capabilities, as does the returning Tyron Crockham, who missed 2010 with a knee injury. He's healthy. That's a good thing. And so is Michael Hill.
And running back, I think we're very deep. I think Michael Hill, I wouldn't trade him for anybody in our league. I think he's outstanding.
The junior running back led the Griffs with 700 yards on the ground last year. He did so despite splitting carries with senior Thomas Hodges. It's now Hill's show. The coach is expecting big things from him.
I never try to put too much pressure on myself, but I feel like to myself I didn't do good enough my freshman year and my sophomore year. I'm trying to get better every single day and just work that much harder every single day.
Last year he got more of the carries and the bulk of the carries and was still learning, and I think now he's really that veteran guy who understands blocking schemes. He understands how defenses work, aiming points, the little things about being a running back. And so on top of that, with him being fast and strong and the knowledge, I think he could have a big year.
Hill will have a deep offensive line to run behind with 3 returning starters up front and plenty of experience in the backup roles. Griffon's lost record-setting kicker Brad Beckwith to graduation, but the replacement, not too shabby.
No, he's only a preseason All-American. Senior Greg Zerline joins the Griffs this season. He's a transfer from the University of Nebraska-Omaha. Now, remember, UNO got rid of its football program last spring, so Zerline's here. Their losses are gains. Zerline, a pro prospect, but he did miss all of last year with a hip injury. He says he's about 95% healthy right now, and heck, even at 70%, that's better than most kickers in this area.
I think, a lot of it's just building my confidence in my leg. I mean, it's healthy. I just have to get my mind, to that point, because I know I've been kicking hard and everything's going well. And as for my aspirations for this team, I just want to come in here and do the best to my ability, what I've done in the past, and if I can do that, I feel like I can help this team a lot.
All put to the test Thursday, and we'll talk the season opening showdown live with head coach Jerry Partridge when GSI comes back.
He once helped a man with back pain by teaching him how to blow up a balloon with his hamstring. He gets superhuman strength just by putting on his shoes. He once helped a zebra's hip by realigning his stripes. He is the most helpful physical therapist in the world.
I don't always go to physical therapy, but when I do, I prefer Spine and Sport.
Spine and Sport. Stay healthy, my friends.
Success is not measured by the size of your house. It comes from deep within inside you. It starts and ends with focus. Lock in, win the next inch, win the next yard, win the next play. Do it. Good. Now do it again and again. Keep fighting, and no matter what, keep moving forward. At some point, we will fall, but we will get right back up and keep coming. If we can keep that focus, if we can keep that drive, then we will never fail. That's character. That's a team. That is family. This is Griffon football. Missouri Western wins.
Missouri Western wins!
Good. Welcome back to GSI, presented by Spine and Sport, joined now by soon-to-be Missouri Western Hall of Fame football coach Jerry Partridge. We'll talk more about that in a minute, but first, let's talk about the opening work date on Thursday. Conference expansion, no more opening week cupcake, easy game. A test right off the bat with Pittsburg State. First of all, team ready to go?
Oh, I hope so. Have a few more practices, but it certainly does have a little bit of an anxiety push because of who it is to start with. We've had some tough first opponents. Winona State a couple times, South Dakota one year. I hate to tell you what a record was in those. We were 1-2 in those tough games, but Pitt has a different feel to it. It's difficult that you're preparing for a team like this. Same token is you get a little extra time for a team like this too. So not knowing totally what they're going to do, but we better be ready to go Thursday night.
Coach P, this was a Pitt State team that went 6-6 a year ago. They lost 3 of their games by 6 points or less. They won the Mineral Water Bowl, so they won a postseason game. This is going to be a good football team, isn't it?
Well, traditionally they're always strong, and they're going to be one of the strongest running programs in the nation every year. You're right; they went 5-6, got to the Mineral Water Bowl in a nice little rally, lost some very close football games. Had the ball in the red zone against Northwest the last game of the year, didn't quite push it in. They had some close games. A couple of early losses were not very close, Central Missouri and us, but I think they played better as the stretch wore on, and I think I'm anticipating a really good football team Thursday.
This being game 1 for them, obviously no game film, but really no surprise what they're going to do. They led the MIAA in rushing last year. They have Zach Dickey, their quarterback, back, and Bryson Wilson returns in the backfield. The
running game is going to be very difficult. Zach Dickey can really run, make people miss, and he everybody rushed for 100. I think everybody, including their trainers, rushed for 100 against us last year. So the backs are very physical. Wilson, Watkins had a big run on them last year. Their old line, is going to be physical as always, and they got some guys that can make some plays in the back end, receiver-wise. So it's very, very nerve-wracking to play these guys.
On the defensive side of the ball, this was a middle-of-the-pack defense, but they returned the leading tackler in the MIAA, Nate Dreiling. He did that as a freshman. They have a very good defensive end, Spencer Worthington, top 10 in the league in sacks. What's the Pitt State defense going to present?
Well, we're not sure. I mean, a couple of years ago they were blitz and crazy, unsound, make some things happen and kind of blow people up doing it. And last year they got a little more sound, what Dave Weimer's used to do and kind of what Pitt used to be. And based on what it looks like their defensive depth chart says, they're going to be that again. Soundness. We're hoping, it's going to be easier to at least know where they're at. Now, on that being said, they're going to play better. But the Dryling kid I think he led the nation in tackles and was an All-American. So I think they're going to be formidable.
You have a lot of returning experience on both sides of the ball for you, but the one inexperienced question mark is your starting quarterback that just happens to be your son. We talked with him earlier in the show. How do you balance basically being a head coach and being a nervous father, wanting your son to do well coming into this first week?
It may be one of the most difficult games that I feel like I'm going to be coaching, to be honest with you. It is a little bit nervousness. So just, it is your son starting at quarterback. It's the first time I've ever had that. I got to do my job and coach the things that I coach and run the team. And he's just another kid out there, that first game. And that's going to be the challenge. I think we're going to be up to the challenge, but that's going to be the challenge to get it done. But again, if he wasn't the athlete he was, then we wouldn't put him out there. I mean, I put too much stock, and we've put too much stock and effort into this program, and love my son too much to put him out there where he can't do it.
You're going to get the call into the Missouri Western Hall of Fame here in a couple of weeks. That was announced in August. Just your thoughts on being really the only second active coach in Missouri Western history to enter the Hall of Fame?
Well, it's an honor. One, I know there's a lot of really good people in that Hall of Fame already. Anything you can be in a Hall of Fame of anything, it's a great accomplishment. And I guess I've stuck around long enough to become the all-time winningest coach, active leader in MIAA. I'm also the active loser, I think, too. But I've coached long enough now that sometimes you just kind of luck into some accolades.
Okay, Coach P, you've been on sabbatical from Easley's Impromptu for about 8 months, but it makes its 2011 debut. You ready?
Okay.
Brings out the piece of paper, ready to go.
Just 4 quick questions. You tell me first thing comes to your mind.
Okay.
Favorite thing about summer?
Golf.
I like that, too.
That was the first thing.
Great answer,
and
right
honestly,
there.
I don't play good enough golf to say golf.
Yeah, that's boring.
Royals baseball. Can I change it? Royals
Absolutely.
That's
I
even
like
worse
that
than
too.
golf.
All right.
One thing Jerry Partridge can't live without on a deserted island.
God.
Good answer there. Not to be controversial, but do you believe in Todd Haley's plan, or should he be playing the preseason differently?
Not to be controversial.
Not to be controversial.
That'd be my response.
Okay, all right.
And
we know that response.
Very simply, down to business. Finish this sentence. Griffon football will be successful in 2011 if. There's a lot of ways with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to go that, but I think if we win the turnover wars always and how well our lines play, I think that's always it.
That's head coach Jerry Partridge. You've got Pittsburg State Thursday night, 6 o'clock. Wow, it's here already. Good luck to you.
Can't wait. We'll see you Thursday night.
All right.
Good luck.
GSI will be right back.
I'm Fred Schunkweiler. I'm a physical therapist. I own Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. We treat athletes, we specialize in that, but the industrial athlete is somebody that gets hurt at work.
I'm a police detective with the city of St. Joseph.
I'm a welder.
I had shoulder surgery.
And ended up having to have back surgery.
Professional athletes, they make a livelihood on the field. Well, an industrial athlete, they make their ends meet at work every day. And if you get injured at work, you want to get back to work as fast as you can so you don't miss a paycheck. And we specialize in that, and we have the resources and the facilities to help you get back to work faster. That's what the pool does.
And the pool, I attribute the pool to a lot of the recovery and the speedy recovery to get me back to work quicker. I need to be back at work.
Therapy was wonderful, about 8 weeks straight of it, and I'm great. I'm back to work 100%, no pain at all. It is different. They take a different approach to it, but they help, and it works because they care, and they work really hard to get you back. They did a great job.
Spine and Sport Physical Therapy, your first choice, the right choice.
Hi, I'm Western linebacker Tom Magic. Join us for our season opener Thursday night, September 1st against Pittsburg State. Get a free gold t-shirt, watch the Falcon skydiving team, most important, watch the Griffs take down the Gorillas. It's a great time to be a Griffin.
Welcome back to GSI, presented by Spine and Sport. We said it's been a busy year, especially a busy summer. For the second straight summer, the Kansas City Chiefs made Missouri Western their August home.
Despite the NFL lockout, the Chiefs started training camp in time. Players arrived at the end of July for camp, and more than 35,000 fans came to see the Chiefs during their 3-week stint and helped put the national spotlight back on Western.
It really looks nice, man. Missouri Western's really outdid themselves here.
You had a favorite part of the day?
Just watching Matt Castle practice.
Like Matt Castle, huh?
Yep.
What do you like about him?
He's a great quarterback.
And?
And very good looking.
Meanwhile, new faces in place or soon to be in place here for Western Athletics. The search for a new athletic director began in July. We could have a new AD in place by as early as October.
And the search for a new soccer coach was a quick one. Jeff Hansen resigned in July to take a job in Illinois. Less than a month later, Chad Edwards was named as the third soccer coach in Western history. He arrived on campus just in time for the start of fall camp and has hit the ground running.
If you lose the ball, do not put your head down. Get across the grid.
I mean, there's been a transition period there. Just the intensity, what I expect, my expectation level, and so forth.
This coach came prepared, and he wants the most out of us. You know, coming in here, we didn't really know what to expect with a new coach, so many new people coming in. But once we got in here, the bar was set really high, and, you know, the intensity was really high. We got in here, got straight to work, no messing around, you know, and everything feels like, you know, we're building up for a really good team.
We're definitely taking it to a new level. New coach, new team, basically. We have 9 newcomers, and it's very intense. And
practices are going to be intense. They're going to be quick-paced. Everything we do is on the jog or on the sprint. So every day we step on the field, it's intense, and we want to be better than we were yesterday, but not as good as we're going to be tomorrow. And that's what I preach to the kids every single time we step out here.
Wait. Quickly, Green, quick.
We've got some really, really good quality players. Kids that want to work hard, want to learn, which is huge, knowing that coming in that I'm a new head coach here. But yeah, I've been very impressed just with the overall work rate, the individual skill level. I'm super excited for what's ahead of us here. I'm trying to put the past behind, you know, build off of what Coach Hansen had, because he set a great foundation for me to build off of. But I don't want to stay back in 2010. I want to push forward.
This year, we don't want to lose. We don't want to tie. Like, we're striving to win every game, and that's all that we're going to accept. You know, it's my last year. I want to make it great. I want to start off a great foundation for the new coach, for the new girls. I just want to have a great season.
1, 2, 3, Griffon!
While soccer gets acclimated, Griffon volleyball gets rolling under third-year head coach Corey Frederick.
The Griffons, coming off a 13-17 season a year ago, could have a breakout season this year, but their early season schedule is tougher, so they will be tested right off the bat. Despite having a 50-50 split of new and returning players this season, Coach Corey Frederick says this is the deepest, most talented team that he'll put on the floor.
There's many different people in different positions, so everybody's going to be pushed to play.
And that's what we're hoping, is to get at least 3 people deep in each spot, which we didn't have last year. If we had a problem last year, we really had to move our lineup around quite a bit. This year, I think we're 3 to 4 people deep at each position, and not a big drop-off between those from the starting to the non-starting side, which is exactly what we want. It gives us better practices, gives us better options in the game system, so you know, hopefully it'll work out, and I think everybody looks excited this year.
The Griffons open the season this Friday at the Lady Buff Classic in Texas, and we'll be right back.
Staying on the theme of new faces, GSI has a presenting partner this year. Fred Schunkweiler is the owner of Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Welcome to GSI, Fred. Great to have you with us. Talk about your role with Western.
Yeah, great opportunity. This summer I started as the sports performance consultant for the athletic department, and we've just been having a great time assisting with injury prevention, performance, and rehabilitation of the Missouri Western athletes.
Okay, well, a new fixture of GSI every week will be Fred's Train Like the Pros segment, which it's fun. Basically, he takes Western athletes, takes them through the ringer with some very unique exercises that only Fred can provide. Here's our first of very many.
We're here with Griffon golfer Lexi Webb today to talk about rotational power in your golf swing. And the key to this is what we call load to explode. So we're going to put Lexi in the top of her backswing here. We're going to talk about her core stability at her right hip. As she goes into that backswing, the key is how stable is this right hip so that her upper body can rotate around it. So here's a couple exercises we're going to give Lexi to practice this. She goes into her address posture. She's going to try to disassociate her torso from her pelvis, keeping that lower body absolutely still. Excellent job. Let's jump up on those rotational discs. These are going to make it quite a bit harder. The spin disc is going to challenge her stability. She goes into the same address posture. She rotates, disassociating that torso from her upper body. That's that rotational. That's the load of the muscles that we're going to get that power. This makes it a little funner. We're going to do what's called a rotational jump. She's going to load into her backswing, but then she's going to explode into a powerful jump up onto that box. Let's make it all work now on the range. This is a slide board. She's going to go back into her address posture, but her right hip has got to work hard to stabilize those resistance bands. She's going to load. Nice job. For rotational power in your golf swing, train like the pros at Spine and Sport.
Oh, Lexi Webb did a nice job there. Where do you come up with that stuff?
You know, sports science is progressing so much in the last even just 5 years that I had blessed opportunity to train with the best of the best this last year. International fellowship that I had with one of the leading sports physical therapists in the world, and really analyze sports in a whole new realm using the best that sports science has to offer. So you're going to see a lot of new three-dimensional sports science techniques you may have not seen before, and that was a lot of fun working with Lexi, and we've been doing some fun stuff with all the other athletes too.
We're going to see much, much, much more of you this whole thing.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks
Look
for your
forward to
support.
it.
GSI will be right back.
Success is not measured by the size of your house. It comes from deep within inside you. It starts and ends with focus. Lock in, win the next inch, win the next yard, win the next play. Do it. Good. Now do it again and again. Keep fighting, and no matter what, keep moving forward. At some point, we will fall, but we will get right back up and keep coming. If we can keep that focus, if we can keep that drive, then we will never fail. That's character. That's a team. That is family. This is Griffon football. Missouri Western wins.
When you come to a Griffon football game this fall, something new you might notice on your way in: Charlie Burry Drive. The new drive named in honor of the father of Griffon athletics. Charlie Burry was Western's first athletic director. The surprise announcement was made during a roast of Mr. Burry in May. Welcome back. Okay, now time to revive our 2011 Pick'em contest. It's basically just a bragging rights thing between me and this guy. I was against bringing it back because you beat me so bad last year, Brett.
And I enjoyed beating you so bad, too.
But you did get to wear the Swami outfit, which actually now looking at the video.
You showered me with gifts.
I did. I showered you with
all kinds of gifts.
But after seeing how ridiculous you looked in the Swami outfit,
I think we need to get Swami music this year. We didn't have any music last year.
Wow,
I'll look for some of that.
Put that in the budget. Let's get right after our pick'ems for this year. We're going to start with the MIAA football games this weekend. Northwest at Truman and the Old Hickory Stick game. How about it?
The Old Hickory Stick. In years past, I would have said Northwest is going to romp. I still think they're going to win the football game, but a lot of new faces on the sideline, on the field. Northwest wins, but it's close.
New faces on the coaching staff as well. Northwest, I'll take them in a win as well. Southern at Central.
Speaking of new faces, Central Missouri's got a lot of holes to fill. Missouri Southern, is this going to be the year they finally get into the upper tier of the league? I don't know. Give me Central Missouri. I think it's closer as well.
I'll take Central Missouri as well. Emporia at Fort Hays State. Flip a coin in Kansas.
New faces again. Fort Hays State has a new head football coach. I think Emporia gets it done on the road. I think that'll be a sloppy game. Give me the Hornets.
I will take Emporia. Are we agreeing on everything?
Well, that's not right.
I know it's not. Washburn at Sioux Falls.
Well, folks may not recognize Sioux Falls as a household name. It is NAIA-wise. They're an NAIA power. That's a dangerous game again. Got to go to the Ichabod.
Yeah, I'll take Washburn as well. Wow, we completely agreed. I don't like that. Okay, locally, Big 12. 12, Miami of Ohio at number 21, Mizzou.
Miami won a lot of football games last year. The game in Columbia wasn't one of them. That was a rout. This will be a rout again in James Franklin's first appearance.
I will take Mizzou as well. McNeese State at KU. Battle of powerhouses there.
You know, McNeese State, they don't wear their name on the back of the uniform. It all says McNeese State on the back. I think that's going to be sloppy as well. Give me the Jayhawks. They're not going to lose 6-3 in their opener again, are they?
Give me McNeese State.
He says McNeese State.
Just for the heck of it. Eastern Kentucky at K-State.
I think Bill Snyder likes what he's got this year. Again, he's going to have a new quarterback. He's got the Brown brothers. K-State wins at the Bill Snyder Family Stadium.
And he's got the cupcake backs on the schedule.
You got it, baby.
So I'll take K-State as well. I forgot one MIAA game. How could I forget Lincoln at NAIA Avila?
Actually, that game is in Jeff City.
I'm sorry. Does that make a difference?
Boy, I tell you what. Flip a coin. Can they tie? You can't tie in college football anymore. The Blue Tigers under head coach Mike Jones. New head coach Mike Jones gets it done.
Mike Jones, author of the tackle for the 1999 Super Bowl for the Rams. I'll take him and Lincoln as well. And we're not going to pick this one, but what's the breakdown? Western hosting Pittsburg State Thursday night. How about it?
Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan. If we give up 358 rushing yards like we did against Pitt State last year, it's going to be a long night. But I tell you what, I think the Travis Partridge era here at Missouri Western gets underway on a positive note. Griff's strong up front on both sides of the ball, got a lot of weapons on the offense. Pitt State's going to be good, going to be a close game, but I think Griff's got a good chance to get it done.
I agree. I think it'll be a close game. I think this could come down to special teams. And again, come out on that night.
3,000 free gold T-shirts. The Falcon skydiving team. Will you be skydiving in with the Falcon skydiving team?
I will not be parachuting in. No, we're going to put that in for next year in the budget.
You got it. That's two things in the budget if you're keeping score at home.
That's GSI. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here next week.
And as always, ladies and gentlemen, go
Griffs.